Alright guys, welcome back to What If Frieza Was a Good Guy, but instead of the Goku Black arc, I got another arc in mind, an arc totally made up in this series. With all that being said, I hope you enjoy. Let's get to it. We cut to Frieza. Frieza will be on his throne when suddenly he got a transmission from Captain Ginyu. Captain Ginyu would tell Frieza to hurry up and meet him. It's urgent. Frieza at first would want to go alone, but then he realized something. Something seemed off about this. So he decided to bring Raditz, Vegeta, and Nappa. And as they all went there, suddenly he heard footsteps behind him. As he looked, it was Captain Ginyu, Majin Buu, Kakarot, and Broly. Kakarot began to laugh. Oh, Frieza, I finally surpassed you. Today is the day you die. Frieza would look at him and say, Kakarot, it's been a while since I met you. You know it's not too late to, but suddenly Kakarot would stretch out an arm and grab Frieza and throw him into the ground. Shut up. I'm gonna kill you, Kakarot said. Today is the last day of your life. So get prepared. I hope you made peace, because I'm sending you to hell. As Frieza would turn gold Kaioken, suddenly Kakarot would smirk and his hair would turn a weird purple and his eyes would turn purple too. Frieza was shocked. What is this? I spied on Beerus and watched him go into this mode. This mode is Ultra Ego. I trained with it within the time chamber. I had nothing to go on other than it looked. I trained and trained and trained for years until I finally mastered it. I am Ultra Ego Kakarot. And with the power of a Majin, you cannot defeat me. Golden Frieza would try to stand up, but he was no match for Kakarot. Kakarot would beat him limb from limb. As Nappa, Raditz, and Vegeta all fought Captain Ginyu, who trained to a golden version of Cell, Majin Buu, and Broly. Broly would be angry, and he would tear Nappa to shreds, ripping off his arms and killing him. Raditz would die also. Vegeta would be beaten near death. Frieza would be beaten near death, and Kakarot would throw him into space and blast a hole into his chest. Vegeta would be able to get a spaceship and escape. Kakarot was hoping Frieza was dead. In fact, there's no way he could have survived that. Frieza flew out into space into chunks as the spaceship would grab him and put him back together. As Frieza got out, he was terrified. He'd never seen a power like that before. Meanwhile, we cut to Kakarot. Kakarot would laugh, thinking that he killed Frieza, thinking that he was victorious, thinking about all this time, finally he succeeded. Now it was time to kill Beerus, but he didn't know if he was strong enough quite. Yes, he could use the Dragon Balls, but he wanted to earn it. Then he remembered something. They could have wished people back with the Dragon Ball, so it's time he destroyed Namek. Kakarot and his crew would all get into spaceships and began to fly off to Namek. King Kai would see this and he would begin to warn the Namekians. Namekians would flee from the planet, but not enough, as by the time King Kai realized what was going on, it was mostly too late. As Kakarot went out into space, since he could breathe, since he was a Majin now, he looked down on planet Namek and smirked as he charged up a ki blast. Goodbye, Namek, and he blew it up, destroying the Dragon Balls. The only Dragon Balls that are left were the Super Dragon Balls, and potentially the ones in Universe 6. But Namek was no more. It was destroyed. And there was no way to wish back Nappa and Raditz. They were gone forever. With Namek being destroyed, Frieza would hear about this, and anger felt through his head. Sure, he was angry at Kakarot, but the anger was not at him mostly. It was at himself. How could he be this weak? If he was just a bit stronger, if he was just more prepared, he could have stopped this. But Namek was gone, an entire planet destroyed, and Dragon Ball's gone forever. They'll never be able to wish back people who get hurt. And it's all Frieza's fault. If he was just a bit stronger, he could have stopped all of this. Suddenly, Vegeta would be brought to him, mostly healed. He would look up to him and say, "What's the plan, boss?" Annoyed. Vegeta can't believe this. Kakarot gave up his Saiyan heritage, his Saiyan life. Everything about him. He became a Majin just to win, and it worked. But that's impossible, Vegeta thought. Being a Saiyan is the greatest warrior race in the universe. You can't just give it up and win, right? Frieza would look at him and say, there's only one thing we can do, train. He trained in the hyperbolic time chamber. It's time that I do the same. Vegeta said, yes, let's train together. Frieza would say, no, I need you to stay behind. Vegeta was angry. He wanted to get his revenge. He wanted to defeat Kakarot. But Frieza said someone has to watch after the Empire and tell me what happens. I trust you to save people, and I trust you. Frieza would put his hand on his shoulder. You always were my most trusted person. You were here with me since the beginning. Ever since you were a kid, I've seen you. And I'm proud of you, Vegeta. Vegeta would actually smile. And he would smirk, saying, thank you. You're welcome. As Frieza would then walk into the time chamber and then begin to train with one goal in mind, to surpass Kakarot. He didn't know it was possible. He didn't even know if he could achieve a form beyond gold, but he knew he had to try. So that's what he did. He continued to train for hours on end. Every second in that time chamber was spent training. Frieza nearly starved himself to death again and again, not eating for days, non-stop training. Then he would eat. Each time Frieza got closer and closer and closer, but it felt like he couldn't do anything. Frieza failed his empire. He failed everyone. He wanted to be better than his father. He wanted to protect the universe, but he couldn't. And it was just put in danger again and again. And each time Frieza tried to help, he merely failed. All of his faults, all of his failures began to rise through his head as he began to scream, but suddenly his skin would turn all black, but then it would turn back to gold. Frieza would witness a new form, and this was the form he would have to work for. Frieza would train in that chamber for 10 years. As those 10 years passed, 10 days would pass in the normal timeline, and Vegeta would help citizens run away and relocate them, as Kakarot would create havoc and try to take over Frieza's empire. He nearly already did it, consolidating power within these 10 days. But as the 10 days passed, finally, Frieza would walk out of the time chamber. Vegeta would then look at him and say, "Sir, what happened? Did you?" Frieza would simply look and turn black for a second, then turn back. Frieza would make Vegeta fall to the floor. Vegeta would look up. That power, it's beyond something he's ever experienced in his life. It was so powerful. Frieza knew he was ready, so he flew to his capital planet, where Kakarot now was. Kakarot tried to take the throne from Frieza. Suddenly, Frieza would land, as Kakarot would get up angrily. "So, you're still alive?" "Very well," as suddenly he would stretch out his arm, but then Frieza would appear behind him and blow up half his body. It would regenerate easily, but Kakarot would get angry. Broly, dispose of him. Broly would charge in an angry state, but then Frieza would kick him down, knocking him out. Then he would turn to his black form. Kakarot walked back a bit scared. So did Captain Ginyu, but he knew what to do. Kakarot began to charge a Kamehameha, blasting a massive Kamehameha straight at Frieza. And as it hit Frieza, Captain Ginyu jumped behind him, said, "Change now!" But Frieza merely jumped out of the way, causing the Kamehameha to hit Captain Ginyu, causing him to fall down. He got up and regenerated, but then Frieza would punch him down to the floor. "I need to make sure you don't take my body. I need to get rid of you first." As then he grabbed him and shot Ki straight into his body, making him blow up. No atom left. As he looked at Kakarot, "It's just me and you." He walked up to his black form. Kakarot went into his Ultra Ego state and said, "I refuse to lose to you." As they both began the battle, but as Frieza hit Kakarot, the more powerful he became. The more damage he took, the more strong he became. And he managed to regenerate again and again. Majin Buu also helped him. Majin Buu would throw a part of his body at Frieza, trying to absorb him, but he would turn black, melting it, and he would turn around and blast Majin Buu, destroying him. Frieza would say, "I show no mercy for terrorists. This is my last stand. That's why I'm gonna kill you all, here and now." Kakarot said, "What about Broly?" "Broly's not that bad. You're just manipulating him, but it's over. I don't stand for evil no more. I gave you too many chances, Kakarot. It's time you die, here and now." Kakarot said, "Shut up. I'm not gonna lose." Kakarot would then throw himself at Frieza. He would try every technique he had, turn him big, turn him muscular, turning him into candy, but nothing worked. No matter what he did, Frieza was always stronger. And he began to beat Kakarot up limb from limb. Frieza would say, "It's over, Kakarot. You were a great warrior, but the minute you blew up your planet, you gave up everything, just to become stronger, just become the best. And it was all worthless, because friends and family, that's what makes you stronger. Kakarot would say, shut up. It's not worthless. You're worthless, Frieza. You took away everything. You put me into a class system where I was the bottom of the bottom, lowest of the low, and I had to train my ass off to get stronger. And you tell me that was worthless? Screw you. Kakarot would charge one final Kamehameha right in Frieza's face, but he wouldn't dodge it or block it. He would just take it as it did nothing. He would walk over to Kakarot and grab him. Goodbye, forever. As then he blasted up, destroying all the atoms, winning. But as he won, he looked down at Broly unconscious. He could tell Broly wasn't a bad guy. And even though he did say he would murder them all, Broly truly deserved a chance. So he would pick him up and begin to carry him, to give Broly another chance, and to rebuild his empire, and to be prepared for more threats, because from now on, if anything bad happens, they can't just wish it away. And that's going to leave things off. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Peace out.